title is Sound Event Detection of Wildlife Reserve Intrusion Detection using Convolutional Neural Network and Random Forest. Okay. So let's start. Outline of the presentation. First, this presentation consists of introduction, research roadmap, and literature review, methodology, results, and then conclusion. So let's begin. Introduction to wildlife intrusion. So we need to understand that wildlife reserves are there to protect many high-value endangered species. So these endangered species are down to extinction because of these poachers. So they are protected from poachers. And stopping these poachers is very tough because of the rough terrains and large areas within the wildlife reserve. So as you can see, Endau Rompin National Park in Malaysia is about 800 kilometers square. That's a huge area to do surveillance. To effectively patrol and monitor this much land require a lot of costs. And this is very small compared to other wildlife reserves all around the world. And we also having problems with low budget allocations, especially here in Malaysia, reported by Rahana. And then important poaching facts. Nearly 2 rangers are killed protecting wildlife. So this is every week. So it's very, very important to know that people are risking their life to protect wildlife, and 2 rangers are killed protecting every week. It's very pressing. And then illegal wildlife trafficking is a big business. The demand is high and the value is worth over 20 billion a year, US dollars. And another fact is that 13 countries in the world have populations of wild tigers, including Malaysia. Only 13 left. So in Malaysia, we only have 200 tigers left, and it's expected to extinct within the next 5 years to 10. So this is the fact reported just recently, 2021 April. And these are the recent news that are happening right now. So as on the latest is September 2021, the Malaysian hornbill bus, they are being trafficked. So if they have acquired this, that means poaching is still active and it's still at large, even at 2021. And then these are the gagal dua cubaan curi hasil hutan. So they are also not just poaching, they're also stealing hasil hutan, including the famous some wood, and we have other news of Sultan Johor demanding action against these wild poachers. So it's still at large, and the problem is still a problem in 2021. So next is the introduction to sound event detection. What is it related to this problem? Is that sound event detection can assist in the stopping of these intruders, because we would like to provide a better solution to cover large areas, because cameras, the typical way to do surveillance is using cameras and using the side of view. But if we were to take sound, it will be a 360-degree surveillance, you see? So it will cover more area, especially for this type of magnitude. Wildlife reserves require this type of more efficiency, especially when they need to cut on costs, because it's a large area to take care of. And then it's also reported by Wildlife Conservative Society that these poachers live in the vicinity of the forest before they do poaching. So they don't just steal and run away. So they actually live in there, and then they collect the produce to do whatever they need. That is making traps, setting campsites, and they even have markings on the trees. So, and then to the best of our knowledge, is the application of this sound event detection is not yet ready it's not ready on the market, available, and it needs to be explored. So now we understand the scenario is that wildlife reserves are being targeted by poachers, and they're taking all the produce. And prevention is difficult because it's a large area and it will require high cost. So since that is a big problem, so sound event detection will be a possible solution to improve security and help save the wildlife reserve from intruders. So this is the research roadmap. So to produce a sound event detection for wildlife intrusion detection, we will first collect data in a real environment and then do feature extraction, followed by feature analysis, and then audio classification. This is an overview, and we have already collected 30,000 plus samples from original sources. So back again, now we have the problem statement. So this is to sum up all the problems. Poachers are really tough to catch, and we need to have a solution to fix that, to help do surveillance more effectively. And the low budget allocations, so that makes sense to have a better, efficient system to detect these poachers. And poaching is still serious, and it requires immediate actions. And we have reports that camera traps is a kind of a system that they are using right now to somewhat help in detaining these poachers. But camera traps are limited to the side of view. As I said before, sound event detection will have probably 360 degrees. That will be more area covered per device, so that will be efficient. And then sound event frequency might be overlapping, because this is a problem that we need to take into consideration, because some sounds are actually using the same frequency, and we need to, and in machine learning, high correlation is not good for work. And then there is also a problem of high false alarm rate. For surveillance purposes, we cannot have high false alarms, so we must take into consideration of false alarms. And then the lack of data in this niche area where the forest environment, because most are found in urban environments. So that might be a problem in deep learning methods and can lead to overfitting. So next up is from all the problems, we have formulated the research questions. So we need to understand what are the feature extraction methods that can identify the significant features. So this is important because we need to avoid high correlation, because this is machine learning, and it's the term garbage in will produce garbage out. And then the research question next is the sound event technique that is suitable for surveillance in the forest environment. So which technique is the most recent and more viable in this type of environment? And then next research question is sound event approach best suit for surveillance. So the objective is to propose a hybrid solution is for this specific reason. And then we need to perform evaluation on this. So the scope of the study is the area of the research is based on the data. It's because this is machine learning, and the data is collected from two main sources. That is the Malaysian forest of Sungai Dusun, Selangor, and also Endau Rompin. This is with the help of Wildlife Conservative and Science Malaysia and the Perhilitan. So all these sounds are collected within 100 meters in an area. So the human can hear, and we can tell that there is an existence of these sounds. So we are focusing on only three different for the basic proof of concept, that is vehicle and chainsaw and axe wood cutting. So these are the activities of the poachers that we are trying to detect within that 100 meter. So the significance of this study is that it will provide a solution to help wildlife security and help save endangered species from poachers. And this might also be offering a low-cost implementation, since it's compared to a camera, the traditional method of surveillance, because it's covering 360 degrees instead of just the field view. And then it's also supporting the Sustainable Development Goals. That is the number 15, the life on land. So next up is the literature review summary. So we did a little research on the wildlife conservation efforts in Malaysia, and we found that there have been 1,500 intrusions just here in Malaysia, specifically in Endau Rompin. And this is on 2019. They did a survey and they found And all this 1500 is just here in West Malaysia, that is in the Olympic. And it's still a problem. Sound event detection, with research into sound event detection, we have found that the forest environment and the urban environment, most are done on, previous research done on urban, and they have, and both of them use most of these methods, that is the support vector machine, random forest, the convolutional neural network, and the hybrid convolutional neural network. And then the sound features, the features that they pair with this machine learning technique is found that Mel-log energies are effective in rare sound events, because we're trying to detect in the intruders within the area of a big area, so it's considered a rare sound event. So the research methodology consists of 4 phases, that is data collection, and then we do feature extraction over the data collection and some feature analysis on the extracted features, and continued following by the audio classification using the features. So after doing the data collection of the 3 activities, we extract the features using these parameters. This is Mel-log energies extraction parameters. So we are using the frame net of 100 and overlapping of 50%. All these are best practices from previous research. Okay, why we use this Mel-log energies is because Mel-log energies is not raw input. It has more information compact. It has the frequency domains. So we need to detect sound with different frequencies. This is very effective to extract the important features of sound. And then we did a little feature analysis using a heat map representation. So these are the Mel-log energies representation of each block of sound. Before we can do prediction, we need to analyze the what there is inside these patterns in the features. So if we see they are all high correlated, we cannot use it for machine learning. That is not really effective. So as you can see here, these are 3 different. Actually, this is 3 different classes, and we can see the different intensities in the Mel-log energies. So these will help in reducing high correlation. And then the audio classification, we constructed models using all the Mel-log energies before into these each model using support vector machine, random forest, convolutional network, and the proposed convolutional neutral RF, CNN RF, the combination of that. So each method is trained and optimized, so we will find only the optimized of each best. So it is trained thoroughly with the same data set so that we can compare them evenly. And the result shows that all these, all the models, we have found that the CNN RF, especially the one with the transfer learning of VGG16, has produced 82 F1 score, precision 83, and all of that is actually the highest on the terms of between everything with the other models. It outperforms everything. Oh, but that the results just now was actually the results, the bare results, the raw results. So the raw results, you can see on the left are the results. Okay, this is a confusion matrix. So we did discuss just now, high false positives are not really good in surveillance. So we need to take into consideration of high false positives. So over here, we can see the ambience on the left here is 55% predicted correctly, but it has also confused 30% of itself as the X head-check class. So the head-check class is now 30% assuming, it's over assuming that we have 30% bad false prediction. So we need to we need to reduce that false prediction because this is for a surveillance system. So what we did was after we apply a thresholding, only accepting a threshold of a certain amount of confidence, we have reduced it to 9.2%. This is, but we did also, we will reduce the head check. If you notice, from 94, it reduced to 77. That is what we lose some, but we need to, in the end, we must reduce the false positive to actually use the system. So all of these are applied on all the models to see what happens. Is it still good after post-processing, after thresholding? Because if we want to use for surveillance, we must have it low false positive rate. So this is the final result, reduced false prediction. So based on all of the models, if you can see here, the VG16 and CNNRF is still maintaining its 82% F1 precision and recall, while the others are actually losing more precision. So it's still outperformed even after the threshold to avoid high false positives. So the conclusion is that sound event detection is successfully applied to detect intruders within the scope, and the CNNRF model performed best compared to other models, and then the CNNRF model produced within, even after the false prediction reduction, it still performed well. The contribution for this research is that it has produced an enhanced solution of CNNRF for real-world intrusion, and it's ready contributes to sound event detection research in Malaysian forest environment, and also the establishment of intrusion sound event detection in Malaysia and forest environments. So we have successfully published 2 articles, and one is on the go. And this is actually the research outcome of the research. So this is a proof of concept that we did with a research grant. Thank you to Dr. Marina for acquiring this grant and help me explore the 2 colors of the world, trying to produce a real product for actual work. So this is with the help of Wildlife Conservative Society, Lo Chi Teng. We have designed a prototype that can embed the system and detect sound within the area. So it will produce the predictions, and it will alert the authorities. This is a proof of concept. This is an industry grant from MTFSB, and we have successfully delivered with Dr. Maya. And this is also Perhilitan. They are also there to observe. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Amirul. Very good presentation. Okay. So we can start our session, Q&A session. First we start with general question. One general question before we go to chapter by chapter. Okay. So can we start with Dr. Sharifah Sakina first?
Okay, so thank you, Chairperson. Okay, well done, Amirul Hasadikin. It's a good presentation. I enjoy listening to your presentations. And for me, for the general question, I just want to know, in your opinion, what is your main contributions for your research towards computer science?
Towards computer science, it will be the exploration of sound event detection in this area of wildlife reserve areas, because mostly are done in urban areas, and some are none in Malaysia actually. So this Malaysian environment is very special because it's a tropical rainforest. It's much more, it's very unique in a sense. So there is the research, the contribution will be the research done on this very niche area, so that the next person will be able to actually apply this to a real world environment, a better, for work actually, to help the wildlife reserves.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you Amirul and Dr. Sharifah. Okay, now Dr. Azlin.
Assalamualaikum Amirul. Good job. Good presentation. Very clear presentation. So I do have one general question for you. In your slide presentation just now, you did mention that there is a work that has been done using hybrid CNN, isn't it?
Mhm.
So previously, what kind of hybrid CNN that we have used?
Yes.
Is it in the same area?
Yes. Glad you asked. Good question. So you see, this hybrid CNN is actually used mostly on convolutional neural network. Is actually they use it as a feature extractor layer to extract the deep features, they call it. So they will pair it with other any other models such as the SVM or maybe the normal neural network, because the normal because this CNN they use it for to get patterns. So it's good for detecting patterns. So what they did before was that they will use this convolutional network as an extractor for a special series of features. It's like to select better features actually. It's like to finer. And then they use the extracted features with models to improve their detection. It's like an additional in-depth search of it. It's something like that.
First chapter dulu, then lepas tu kita come back to the abstract and title. Okay. Okay, so